Welcome, everybody, to Utah Valley University softball. It's a breezy but sunny and beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Orem, Utah. Clint Berge joined alongside by Josh Kalunke. And, Josh, I don't think we can get a windless game at this ballpark this year.
I think you're absolutely correct, Clint. Anytime you come to Utah Valley, it seems like there's a nice little wind whipping quite ferociously, actually, out to left field in this ballpark today. So if teams can get the ball up in the wind, we may see some fireworks.
Well, there was a windy game in St. George earlier this season, and it was a 15-14 final. I hope for the pitcher's ERA's sake that doesn't happen today. Maybe for the offensive players' sake that Wolverines can score 14 or 15 runs.
Absolutely.
I'll take it. But for Utah Valley, it's Devin Kretz in the circle. I almost said on the mound, in the circle, and she has been remarkable lately. 2 wins Monday, against Boise State, both in relief. 2 wins over the weekend against Dixie State in starts and complete games. She's 4-0 over her last 4 appearances. 2 earned runs in 20 2/3 innings pitched. She's just been remarkable for Utah Valley this year, these past 2 years in her career. And her career is winding down as she throws a first pitch foul ball off the bat of the leadoff hitter for Utah State.
Well, just to echo that about Kretz, as she delivers a ball there, the Wolverines really needed those two of those 3 wins against Dixie this past weekend, and she really stepped up inside the circle and got the job done for the Wolverines.
1-2 now after Leah Molina, the DP for Utah State, one of 3 left-handers in the starting lineup, in the offensive starting lineup.
And those 2 wins were against an excellent Dixie team, might I add.
It's a Dixie team that had its sights set on possibly a WAC regular season title before that series started. But the Wolverines took 2 out of 3. There's an appeal, and she did go.
Wow.
As from here, it didn't look like it.
No, and we're in the third base. Well, we're just above the third base dugout, so thought we had a pretty good look at that, being a left-handed hitter, but the umpire's the only one that matters.
So strikeout to begin this one for Devin Kretz. And now it is swinging a pop-up right in front of home plate. It's going to Beja touched it. The catcher, Beja Query, touched the ball, and so it's going to be fair. Had she not touched it, it would have been a foul ball, but she touched it. It's a fair ball. It's a swinging infield hit to the catcher.
Well, and that on a ball like that, a little bit of a jam on the hitter, and it goes up, and it goes spin goes a little crazy. You hustle out to try to make the play, and then that spin, it's not a natural spin that you see on most balls, so it spins back, hits you if you're Beja Query, and nothing you can do, but your hustle almost costs you there in that situation.
So the Aggies catch the first break today, and Stephanie Reed, the center fielder, is at first base with a single. Zaya Castrita, the hitter, the number 3 hitter, takes the pitch there. It's a called strike, 0-2. A delayed call by the home plate umpire, I think. He's really delayed on that, James? 1-1. And what's the ball? 2-1. So you can see, watching at home, we have the behind home plate camera.
And you can probably make your calls better than we can.
Sometimes the softball umpires, it's different than watching Major League Baseball or college baseball, even as the count now 3-1. Seems like the softball umpires like that second to collect themselves, then make the call. There's a strike. The runner on a delayed steal, she stole it.
Wow,
so she took
absolutely.
That. And a nice piece of base running there by Stephanie Reed. She gets the stolen base.
Oh, a delayed steal there, Clint. And really what happened, I was about to point out that Utah State doesn't use the running game much at all. They really only have 5 stolen bases on the year in this starting lineup. And then right then, Stephanie Reed hesitates, and then goes for it.
And she may be able to run. Here's a chopper foul. We don't know. We didn't really see. But she didn't steal that with her speed. She stole that, with
100%.
sheer just quality base running.
Yeah, that was just great anticipation by Reed. And right when the throw went back to the pitcher, she took off and slid in safely.
Castrita, the second baseman. The count remains full. She fouls 2 balls off in a row. She's the top hitter in this lineup for Utah State at 306. The big home run hitter for this team, there's a couple of them, are further down in the lineup. There's a called strike 3. It looked like a high strike, but Devin Kretz strikes out her second hitter, and both looking here in the first.
Well, Kretz is not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, but she's used that here so far for the 2 outs in this inning. But Utah State, as you said, has some pop in this lineup.
This is one of them. It's Kennedy Hira, 6 home runs, 15 batted in. And they count 0-1 after the foul ball. Gabriela Jimenez, who's 2 hitters away, has 8 home runs, and Lexi Orozco right behind her has 6. So between those 3, 20 home runs.
Well, and then Stephanie Reed standing on second base, the speedy center fielder, also has 5 home runs. So you really see a collective group that swings for a lot of power, much like the Utah Valley team that has several players with 5 to 8 home runs.
0-2 count, check swing. Did she go? No, she did not go. And Beja Query, the catcher, she flipped the ball back towards the circle, thinking that it was going to be a called strike 3, or a swinging strike 3 called by the umpire out at first, but it wasn't. So she had to quickly get that. And
I think everybody on campus thought that was strike 3 there.
Good job by the third baseman Carly Olsen not to abandon her position.
Yeah, absolutely, and great job by Beja to track that down after she'd rolled it back out to the circle.
1-2 pitch. There's strike 3. Swing on and missed. And Devin Kretz strikes out the side in the top of the first inning. 1 stranded for Utah State. Aggies nothing. Wolverines coming up.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping.
Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. Free. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Welcome back. Wolverines coming to hit here in the bottom of the first inning. The Utah State Aggies got a 1-out single, little jam pop-up in front of home plate that took a wicked spin, glanced off catcher Beja Query, and allowed Stephanie Reed to reach first. She stole second on a delayed steal, but Devin Kretz struck out all 3 outs in that first inning. 2 looking, 1 swinging.
Well, Utah State inside the circle today, they have a freshman in Jessica Stewart. She comes in 4-6 with a 4.18 ERA. Team's hitting .295 against the freshman. Has struck out 42 and walked 22 in 65 innings.
So it'll be Emery Nielsen to lead it off for Utah Valley. She had a good weekend against Dixie State. Hit the ball really well, played some good defense as well. And she takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Nielsen, then Lena Reboledo, Beja Query, Ryan Milliken, Kyla Hardy, Lainey Bettenker, Peyton Prigge, Madison Carr, Carly Olsen. That's the lineup for Utah Valley. So Carly Olsen making her 3rd consecutive start. She started both halves of that Monday doubleheader at Boise State as the pitch misses. And what a doubleheader it was for Utah Valley. Twice falling behind, twice coming back to win. Both times using the home run to do it. And In both games, Ryan Milliken homered. She drove in 5 in game 2. Hit a 3-run home run. Just swinging. I think she may have gotten a piece of it, but it's a strike 2-1. Then in game 1, Jaden Barajas, a pinch hit, 2-out, 2-run home run in a 2-2 game in the top of the 7th inning. And so some heroics there offensively. And then Devin Kretz in the circle. 3 innings in game 1, 3 2/3 in games 2. She got wins in both games. Here's a bunt foul. And a nice double-header win. It doesn't count anything towards the conference season where the Utah Valley is trying to work its way up in those standings, but 19-21 looks better than 17-21, and it's a Mountain West doubleheader. You got another Mountain West team here today.
Right, and for the Utah Valley, it really gives a lot of players a lot of confidence from that doubleheader. A lot of good clutch hitting, as you mentioned. A lot of kids coming through when they were needed.
Nielsen stays alive. Count holds at 2-2.
Well, Utah Valley needs all the confidence they can get going into this last bit of the season here to finish in that towards the top of the Western Athletic Conference. Coming from a little bit of a slow start in league play, and so really need to be firing on all cylinders, kind of like they seem to be here this past week.
Another 2-2 coming. Check swing. They are going to ask, and she did go, says the third base.
Well, third base seems to be
Brett
the place
Higgins.
to ask.
Yes. And I think from here it looked like she probably
did on
went
that ball for sure. So a good call by the umpire and good pitch from Jessica Stewart for Utah State.
Left fielder Lena Reboledo steps in. So the WAC tournament, well, it's going to be 4 teams. There's 7 teams in the WAC. 3 are not eligible because of reclassification from Division II to Division I. Those 3 are Tarleton, Dixie State, and California Baptist. The pitch in there for strike. Wolverines took 2 of 3 from California Baptist on the road. They took 2 of 3 from Dixie State at home, and will finish with Tarleton May 7th and 8th. You talked about the slow start, and it was. The Wolverines started 0-3. Grand Canyon, who has just kind of been the nemesis for Utah Valley softball over the years. Just 1 win in 22 games for UVU. They got run ruled in the first game, but the second and third game were both 1-run losses. And so right there, they won one of the losses to the only loss to Cal Baptist was a 1-run loss. Here's a liner hard into the gap. That's going to one-hop the wall. Extra bases for Reboledo. Here comes the throw. She's got to stand up, 1-out double. And the Wolverines have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, that was a good-looking swing from Reboledo. That ball was got it out over the plate. She really stayed back on it and drove it. And if she gets that ball up in the wind, that ball's going to be out into the baseball parking lot. But she really hit a nice liner, 1 hop off the wall, almost hit it too hard. You know where it bounced off the wall and they could get it in quick. But just a very, very nice piece of hitting.
So she's at second for Beja Query, the catcher. Senior on this team. In technically her 5th year, her 4th full year. Last year we only played 19 games. Here's a called strike. Beja hitting .313. The double for Reboledo is her 8th. She's second on the club in doubles, behind Kyla Hardy. One strike pitch coming. And it's the catcher I think she just missed it. I think that's going to be a pass ball, said the official scorer. And scampering down to third is Reboledo.
Yeah, that ball looked like it just got off the tip of her glove, and maybe she lost concentration momentarily and allowed that ball to get off the tip of her glove and back to the backstop. Easy advance for the Wolverines, and now with 1 out, that makes Beja Query's job even easier to try to get this run in.
She went after a high fastball there, swung right through it. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that's one of those pitches that when it comes out of the hand, it looks really good, and then by the time it gets to you, it's eye high, and you're swinging right through it.
It's not a pitch you see in baseball, right? That riser.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to hit.
So Query trying to at least drive in the run from third. Here's the pitch. She lines it past third, foul, just by third base coach, assistant coach Shelby Graves. Query, 21 runs batted in on the year. With Reboledo at third and one out. No score, bottom of the first inning. Ryan Milliken on deck for UVU. 1-2 pitch. It's outside, 2-2. Try to get her to chase that one.
And a good job of laying off by by Query.
Two balls, two strikes. And it's inside. Count goes full. This pitcher for Utah State, Stewart, she definitely has the wind in the throw. Like, you don't see that all the time like that in softball. She's kneeling, her left knee lower. Reed takes the sign, puts the ball in her glove, kind of twists. As Beja fouls that one back.
And a good-looking pitch there, and good job by Beja to spoil that. Just fouling it straight back. Just missing it when you're fouling it straight back. You're just missing that ball.
Third meeting this year between Utah Valley and Utah State. First one here in Orem. The teams played in St. George earlier this season. That was a 8-0 UVU win. 3-2 again. Line past third. That's a fair ball. Reboledo will score. Stumbling around first is Query, but she has plenty of time and kind of coasts into second base. I think she's laughing at herself. She almost biffed it there around first base.
Almost went down.
But it's the second double, and the Wolverines lead 1-0.
Well, she smoked that ball right down the line. It was took that low inside pitch, got the barrel to it, and just kept it fair, which is difficult to do with a pitch that far inside, and just did a nice job of keeping those hands inside, driving it down the line and keeping it fair. And then she got a little too excited coming around first base and stumbled, but in there safely. Great job by Beja Query, the senior.
So still one out, runner in scoring position again, and it's Ryan Milliken, who hit 2 home runs in the doubleheader the other day. 5 runs batted in game 2, 2 in game 1. Leading Utah Valley with 8 on the season, and she takes strike 1.
Well, and Ryan Milliken is not someone you want to face with runners in scoring position if you're Utah State. Here with Query standing on second and 1 out. Already down 1-0 here in the first.
Pitch up and away, 1-1. In game 1 on Monday, Wolverines trailed 2-0 when she homered to tie it in the 4th, and then the score remained that way until Jaden Barajas' pinch hit home run with 2 outs in the 7th. Here's the 1-1. Big cut there. She fouls it off. Then in game 2, the Wolverines trailed 3-0 early after the first inning. But UVU came back, scored 4 in that third inning with the 3-run home run from Ryan Milliken, giving Utah Valley a 4-3 lead at the time. She also had a 2-run single in the 6th inning. That helped Utah Valley pull away an eventual 9-4 win. And a doubleheader sweep. 1-2 pitch, fouls it back.
Well, Utah Valley right now looking to get out to a bigger lead here, already up 1-0, because Utah Valley has kind of gotten in the habit of falling behind early, and when they do, it causes you to have to do a lot more to try to catch up. And so far today, they look sharp.
Swinging the line drive off the glove. Just some self-defense there, and Milliken's going to beat it out for an infield single.
Well, right there, that's, as you said, self-defense, and glad that she was able to get her glove up and not be hit by that ball coming back at her. But if that ball gets through the pitcher, that's definitely an RBI single for Ryan Milliken. And
yeah, we saw Casey Jensen get hit the other day. She was okay. Bryn Hilton going to run at first for Milliken. So runners at first and third and 1 out. Some good news from Boulder City, Nevada, which is near Las Vegas. Utah Valley Women's Golf has its first WAC individual champion. Victoria Estrada won the WAC title today. So it's the first time Utah Valley has done so in women's golf. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to Coach Sue Nias on that win. It's unfortunate that women's golf, they don't take the individual medalist from each conference to the NCAA tournament. They only take the team.
That doesn't seem to make any sense.
So in men's golf, they do it. They take the medalist. If you take first, you get to go to the regional. And women's golf, you don't.
That's
so. Looks like we not only will we have a pinch runner for Utah Valley, we'll have a new pitcher for Utah State.
It looks like Jessica Stewart, the freshman starter for Utah State, looked like she was okay after being hit by that comebacker. Just hit her in the glove, but that's a scary spot to be in. But she looked like she was okay. But hopefully this is not a replacement due to an injury of any kind, but because of wanting to go ahead and get somebody else some work on the mound.
The new pitcher is Capri Toon. She's been the go-to pitcher for Utah State. 90 innings pitched coming into the game. That was 25 more than anybody else, and that was Stewart, who pitched the second most number of innings. So Toon at 90 innings pitched at 4.51 ERA, making her 23rd appearance of the year. 45 strikeouts, 90 innings pitched, 36 walks, 58 earned runs, a 285 batting average against. Looking back at the earlier matchups between Utah Valley and Utah State this year, in St. George, the Wolverines won 8-0. That was Devin Kretz start. Trying to scroll through my box scores here. I had it. There we go. That's the 2-1. The Wolverines won most recently 2-1 on March 30th. That was a Stewart start against Kretz. Devin struck out 9. That was, at that point, it is still her career high, but that was her new career high. She's since matched that. She did it against Dixie State the other day.
Well, Devin really has, as you have mentioned, been throwing the ball extremely well inside the circle. She's really pitched extremely well, and especially here in the last 2 weeks.
She threw a 2-hit shutout in the first meeting. Here's a foul ball off the bat of Kyla Hardy.
It's kind of hard to say, though, about Devin, because she really has pitched really well just the last couple of years.
Yeah, the UTEP transfer in her final season. She got into the MBA program, so she'll be back on campus next year. Won't be able to pitch. She's exhausted her eligibility there. Pitch is down 1-1. When she first told me, I got excited thinking she was going to be able to pitch another year, but then she's like,
"Oh, she transferred."
I'm the 6th year. I'm like, yeah, I'm just the whole COVID. The whole COVID year. Does the year count? Does it not count? It's confused me, because last year, here's a fly ball down the line and left, foul. It's last year's softball. The spring sports got a year back this year, and then everybody else is getting a year back next year.
Right.
So for the fall sports that played in the spring, and the winter sports, they all get the year back next year. So this year didn't count for them. Last year didn't count for baseball, softball, outdoor track, etc. So.
And unfortunately, that's great for the kids that are in school now.
Pitch outside. Bryn Hilton stealing. The throw is wide. I think Hilton was safe. And coming home is Bejaquiri with a head-first slide. And so both runners are safe. It's a double steal, executed perfectly, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know what word I was looking for. Executed. And also educated. But executed perfectly. Bryn, she actually overslid second base and could have been tagged out. But with the runner heading home, Utah State elected to go for that out at home plate and unable to get an out anywhere.
The pitch was a called strike 3, so Hardy was down looking. And now there are 2 outs, and the hitter is Lady Bettenker, the right fielder.
Well, and when you add that in, really, if she keeps the tag on at second base, then Utah State is out of the inning. But instead, it's now 2-0 with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's kind of where that delayed strike call. This one's in there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I didn't even notice because I was paying attention to the other because the strike call was delayed.
The second baseman didn't know.
Yeah, it may affect. Yeah, it affects the fielder just as much as it affected me as a broadcaster.
Well, and looking at the replay, she caught the ball in front of second base, so I don't know that she could have tagged Hilton out.
Well, Hilton slid past the bag by a good 2 feet. Watch this. Oh, she's off the bag.
Then she's back.
There she goes. Yeah.
On the replay, if you're watching on the side. But
yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Bettenker. Two outs here, bottom of the first. Wolverines have scored twice. The pitch line foul. Bettenker stays alive. Lainey Bettenker making her 19th start of the season. She's we'll call her a second-year freshman. She was on the team last year. Hitting .212.
Playing outstanding defense in right field as well.
She appeared in 15 games last year, mostly as a pinch runner. Here she grounds it towards second, fielded cleanly by the second baseman, Castrita, and the inning is over. Wolverines do score twice, a couple of extra base hits, and after one, lead it 2-0.
Right next to UVU, Wolverine Crossing is a premier award-winning student property in Orem. With nearly $5 million in renovations, Wolverine Crossing has the look and feel of luxury living, including contemporary upgrades and top-tier amenities. Wolverine Crossing supports a strong academic environment, whether you're on campus or online, and the resident assistant program is nationally recognized.
Well, it's a beautiful day here in Orem, but as you can see, the wind also wreaking some havoc from right to left field.
And it's kind of been shifting a little bit, and it goes from right to left, and then it goes to dead center, but it's gusting up to about 30, 35 miles an hour, I would imagine, according to AccuWeather.
Did you look that up, or are you just guessing?
I did look it up.
2 balls to the first baseman, Mackenzie McFarland, leading off here. And McFarland, then Gabriela Jimenez and Lexi Orozco due up for Utah State. It misses high again. 3 balls, no strikes. Devin Kretz in that first inning just gave up the infield hit, but struck out the side. And the ball misses high, so 4-pitch walk to begin the second inning. I say she struck out the side, and some people say their opinion is if you can't say you struck out the side unless you do it 1, 2, 3. But I disagree.
I do as
you
well.
Literally every out was that
9 people could come to the plate. If all 3 outs were made by strikeout, you still struck out the side.
But if they get it in order, you say you struck out the side in order.
Yes.
Pinch runner for Utah State, Libby Hawker is going to run it first for McFarland. And the hitter is Gabriela Jimenez, who we talked about has the power. 8 home runs, 20 batted in, 284 batting average.
She's really got some good pop back there. Comes in just a freshman.
Big cut there. She lines it into the corner and right on the first pitch. Bettenker gets it. Here's the cutoff to Hardy. They're going to hold the runners, but it's a double, and the Aggies have second and third. Nobody out here in the second inning.
Yeah, wasting no time was Jimenez, and she just got the pitch she liked and smoked it in to right field, down into the corner. Nice job of retrieving it by Bettencourt, keeping that run from scoring from first.
Yeah, Laney did a good job getting down to that corner. It didn't go all the way into the corner, but.
Well, that's one of the reasons that they were unable to score that run, Utah State was, from first base, because she kept it from getting all the way into the corner. And if you can do that, then you're going to cut that run.
There's Lexi Orozco. She takes ball 1. The shortstop for Utah State. And our opportunity to tie the game with a base hit. 16 RBIs so far this season. She also has 6 home runs. A .274 batting average. 1-0 pitch popped up. Strikeout situation here for Kretz. She came in against Boise State on Monday. Runners at first and second, nobody out. In a tie game, sacrifice bunt moved runners to second and third, and she struck out the next 2 hitters. So she did it there. Not quite to that level. There was 1 out with second and third. No outs here. And she misses high. It's 2-1 to Orozco.
It's one of the things I noticed when I saw the lineup here for Utah State is the interesting construction of their batting order with their 6 and 7 hitters here. 2 of their higher averages and most of their power.
That pitch missed. I think Kretz asking where it missed. But it's 3-1.
Or I should say a lot of their power on this team.
So hitters count here for Orozco. And not really a swing she probably wanted on a 3-1 pitch. She fouls it off and the count full.
No, she did not commit to that swing there. That's one you might want to just let go if you don't like that pitch when you got a 3-1 count. But nonetheless, she doesn't put it in play, and we've got it 3-2 now.
Payoff pitch. Chopper towards the left side. It's going to get through the hole, past the glove of Emery Nielsen, and the Aggies are on the board. It's 2-1.
Yeah, just put it in play there. And when you put it in play, good things happen. And that one just was kind of a seeing eye hopper that got through the infield. And even if Emery Nielsen makes a play on that ball, there's really nothing she can do with that. And so, good job there.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could have happened was you hold Jimenez at second base still. She gets to third when the ball gets through. But first and third now, still nobody out. And the pitch is away.
Well, and I'm looking at the McFarland, Maisie McFarland, that just got that RBI single, and then you've got Mackenzie McFarland. They're both I'm going to guess they're sisters.
This is Maisie right here hitting.
Oh, this is Maisie. Okay.
Roscoe is at first
Roscoe
base.
is the one who just got the single, but Maisie McFarland that's hitting now, I apologize, is looks like they're sisters. Isn't that? One's a sophomore, one's a freshman. Out of Rockland, California. I always thought it would be cool to play with a sibling. Unfortunately, my brothers weren't much in the way of athletes.
Or you just didn't wrestle.
Yeah, I wrestled with them, but none of us were good enough to do that at the next level or at any level. Beyond the couch level, you know that.
Meeting in the circle here is Phasia Query. Equipment issues. She's patched those up, runs back out, takes her spot behind home plate. 1-ball count to McFarland. Wolverines lead at 2-1. Utah State still threatening though. First and third, nobody out. And there's a strike.
Well, I don't know. Folks like the McFarlands that name their kids Mackenzie and Maisie, I'd be so lost. I can't keep my dog and my daughters separated.
Pitch is high, 2-1. Well, your dog's name is Oreo.
My daughters are Summer and Autumn.
Yeah.
And I still mix them all up.
If you would have named your daughter like Winter, that would be even more confusing. Your dog.
Yeah.
I guess that ball hit her.
Yeah, it looked like it.
So she'll take first, and the bases are loaded.
Well, Devin Kretz really kind of having a little bit of a struggle here in this top of the second inning, which is uncharacteristic of her. Looks like the Wolverines are going to start stirring in the bullpen a little bit.
It looks like we may have another pinch runner for Utah State. Maybe. No.
Is it a pinch hitter? No.
No. Nothing. That was confusing.
Just a chat.
Head coach Steve Johnson talked to the umpires, had his lineup card out, but no change.
Big spot here for Devin Kretz and the Wolverines. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
That first pitch wasn't a pitch. He was not ready. Umpire did not say go, so it wasn't a pitch. There's a strike. So it's 0-1. Minor foul. That very nearly took out a photographer, Jay Drowns, on top of the dugout.
I've never seen Jay move like that. He was cat-like quick.
He's awake now. 2 strikes. And it's wide.
Good pitch there with 2 strikes,
yeah.
And even better take there from Kayla Fielder for Utah State.
There's Jay. Fielder stays alive. Number 9 hitter in the order, hitting .256. Yeah, for Kretz, I think with Maisie McFarland, she's probably frustrated. She hit her. She was just batting .188. And she still is, because that plate appearance goes as a hit by pitch, but also struck out 17 times. So the possibility for a strikeout in a strikeout situation, she couldn't get it. So she's in more trouble now, but a 1-2 count to Kayla Fielder. Here's the pitch. That's outside, and it's 2-2.
And this is will prove to be a pivotal point here early in this game. Either way for either team.
2-2 pitch, grounder. Cut off by Carly Olson, but the ball glances off her glove. The runner rounding third holds there, but everybody's safe. So Olson and Nielsen were both kind of in that hole. Olson just couldn't glove it.
Well, it's one of those plays that's difficult as a third baseman. You're wanting to come and get the ball because if it gets through you, it's a single. So she tries to come through and get it because she probably has the only play to make a throw. And unfortunately for her, it glanced off of her glove. A little bit of indecision on whether she should go after it or not, it looked like. And unfortunately for the Wolverines, now bases still loaded and tied 2-2.
And for Olson, she hasn't played much this year. She was a shortstop as well in the past for UVU, but is the third baseman in the third straight game. And she, like you said, I think some indecision on should I go get this, and she did and couldn't come up with a play. So it's an error, and the run does score. It's 2-2, still nobody out, and they're back to the top of the order, Leah Molina.
Well, on that note, good leadership over there by your shortstop. Emery Nielsen comes over and talks with her and just reassures her that she'll make the next play.
1 strike pitch, swung on a missed. Molina struck out in the first to begin the ball game.
And the Wolverines desperately needing a strikeout in this situation.
She stays alive, fouls it off. The first time we've seen Devin Kretz in any real trouble for a long time.
Yeah, probably not since 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or a week ago against BYU a little bit.
Well, and she gave up a 3-run home run against BYU in the first inning. This one's low.
But then she really came out of that ball game and didn't pitch a whole lot more. So,
and has been almost untouchable since. But Utah State hitting him in the right spots this inning. Ball's low, 2-2. A walk and hit batter also has helped, but an error.
Well, and I've got to say right now, great at bats by the Utah State hitters. They're getting behind. Last 2 hitters 0-2. And there's another spoil of a good pitch. And so they're continuing to foul off pitches and forcing Kretz to make good pitches and come to them. And finally, she'll throw a pitch in the strike zone and put it in play and see what happens.
And this isn't Molina. I said Molina, but it's a pinch hitter, Emily Tidd. So Molina's not hitting. And Tidd strikes out swinging. So I apologize for catching that one late, but Emily Tidd was the batter.
Yeah, I haven't quite caught on to to the moving parts in softball as much as I should have.
Well, and I should have noticed, too, I talked about how Molina was one of 3 left-handers in the lineup, and Tidd is a right-handed hitter. First time seeing this team, though, for us, Utah State team. Pitch misses in. It's 1-0. One big out, though, for Devin Kretz. 2 runs, 3 hits for both teams. Foul ball out of play off the bat of Stephanie Reed. Reed is 1 for 1. She had that little jam single out in front of home plate that backspin hit Beja Query and went foul. She stole second but was stranded there. 1-1 pitch outside. So Wolverines got 2 in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back doubles by Rebeledo and Query. Up and away in the count, 3-1. Nowhere to put her.
A big pitch here for Kretz, obviously, and Stephanie Reed really sitting on a pitch.
Swings and pops it up there right in front of home plate again.
So like
this time
Beja
kind of watches it and pops back to her.
Restraint was a better part of valor there. That was very similar to the first at-bat by Stephanie Reed.
Count full. Fly ball, foul on the left side, out of play.
And if you missed that first at-bat, it was a kind of a jam shot like that, and Beja made an effort to go and catch it, and it ricocheted and hit her in fair territory.
And I don't think she meant to touch it. Here's another 3-2 pitch. It's low ball 4, so that'll force a run in. And Utah State will take the lead. Yeah, I don't think she meant to touch the ball in the first inning.
It just the way that it was
where
spinning.
She was standing, where it was spinning.
Spun and hit her.
Head coach Stacey May Johnson out to talk to Kretz, brings her infield in, her second season at UVU. First full season, we'll call this one. And a 31-28 record so far for the Wolverines. She's done a nice job coming in. She came in, I think she was hired in either right before or right after Christmas of 2019. Took over a team that started practicing in January of 2020. Got the team off to its best start at 12-4 at the Division I level. Finished the season 12-7 before the pandemic hit, and here she is in her first full season as the head coach, second season overall, but for Utah Valley. So here's Zaya Castrita, and the pitch is low.
Well, yeah, you absolutely love the direction of the program, Clint, and that's really what she was brought in for, was to make this upward trajectory.
There's a fly ball towards the gap in right center on the run. Lainey Bettenker makes a great catch, a diving catch, and they're going to have a runner from second to third in a pickle. Olsen to Hardy, and they don't tag out Orozco, but they have 2 runners on. That's not Orozco. They have 2 runners on base. It was Fielder, and so she's out. So a base running mistake there, but Utah State gets another run. So a sacrifice fly, but it's a double play, and the Aggies lead it after an inning and a half, 4-2.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please, don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Welcome back to Orem, Utah, to the Wolverines softball complex, where Utah Valley here in the bottom of the second, coming to bat, trailing 4-2 after Utah State put up 4 runs here in the top of the second inning. Coming to bat for the Wolverines here, leading off will be Peyton Prigge, the first baseman.
I'm trying to figure out with James Warnick, the official score in this one, how to put that one into the program. The sacrifice fly, and then a
would be a 9.
RBI.
Yeah.
And then a 9 whatever. We had that part.
It was a 9-6-5.
We had that. That wasn't the.
All right, I don't remember.
9-6-5-4.
Yeah.
Peyton Prigge will lead it off for Utah Valley. Bottom of the second inning, Wolverines trailing 4-2. Change up in there for a strike. So it got the run home. Did the line drive off the bat of Castrita.
Well, and what a great catch out in right field. He kind of got lost in all that action, but what an exceptional catch by Betancourt. Betancourt, excuse me.
1 ball, 1 strike to Prigge.
I knew that.
I think he did that last week.
More than likely.
Prigge had a good weekend against Dixie State. This one misses high. It's 2-1. Henry Nilsson on deck.
Prigge was a player that
Madison Carr on deck, sorry.
Utah Valley just really needed to get some production from, and she really came through in that Dixie series.
For some reason, I get Carr and Nielsen confused in uniform with the helmet on. There's a pop-up foul. They have similar numbers, 19 and 14. They have similar builds, and they both swing left-handed. So I just am constantly doing that for some reason. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Prigge. And they're both junior transfers, one from Southern Utah, one from Utah State. I think they're both recently married. I think they're best friends on the team.
They used to be roommates. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Change up there that misses low, and Prigge holds up the count full. Prigge, Carr, and then Olsen. 7, 8, 9 in the order. Wolverines trying to get those runs back that Utah State got in the second. UVU trails 4-2. 3-2 pitch. Line foul.
Not sure if that was an off-speed pitch or she just saw that really well out of the hand, but either way, she ripped that foul.
Another 3-2 pitch coming. Off speed there, line to the left field, the base hit, a nice job. Kind of saw her hand start, then stop, then go again. And Peyton Prigge's aboard with a base hit to start the second.
Yeah, she didn't recognize the pitch at first, but then about halfway there, she recognized it, slowed her swing just enough, and then put it into play. Just a soft liner into left field. So just a nice piece of hitting, 3-2 count, and coming through in the clutch.
So leadoff hitter aboard, and here is Madison Carr. You can do a lot of things with the bat.
She runs exceptionally well, so that gives her a lot of options here.
First baseman way in, and she takes a full cut at it, but swings through it for strike one. So Mackenzie McFarland, the first baseman, and Kennedy Hira at third, both expecting some sort of slap bunt here. And Carr always does that little, I don't know the softball term. She kind of walks up, slap hit. There's a throw down to second as Pregge's going to be out. It was a ball, so it's 1-1. And she tried to steal. I don't know if she was missed a sign, if the count was 0-1, if Carr maybe missed a sign. But she didn't get a great jump. I mean, it's hard to get a jump in softball. You got to wait till the ball is out. And but Pregge's first attempt of the year, and it's out number 1.
You almost have to think that the Wolverines, somebody missed a sign there.
Ball and a strike.
With nobody out here in the second. And to steal a base with somebody who hasn't attempted a steal all year.
It seems like a missed sign somewhere.
Yeah.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Carr. That one low, 2-2. Brooke Carter and Katie Zuniga both throwing in the Utah Valley bullpen. But Devin Kretz struggling a little bit early. Very out of character for her. There's a pop-up down the left line. It's trouble, but it's going to be foul. But we have seen Devin give up a couple runs early, then give way to somebody else, and then come back later in the game and kind of shut things down. So it wouldn't be the rarest of things to see her lifted, then if needed, come back down the stretch.
Inserted later. However, we've also seen her have a struggle for an inning, then come back, settle down, and get back to her normal form throughout the rest of the game. So there are options.
2-2. Swinging a fly ball to left, hit fairly well. Drifting back, the left fielder, Maisie McFarland. She makes the play. The outfield is in pretty shallow for Carr, and so she did have to go back to track that thing down, and she did for out number 2.
Well, with the wind blowing the way that it is, McFarland may have thought she had a read on it and then thought, oh, goodness, it's carrying a little more than I thought because of this wind, and she went back 3 steps and made the nice catch.
Carly Olson, the hitter, the third baseman, takes the pitch wide. Just 16 games played so far. This is 17 for Carly, her third straight start. Just 16 at-bats on the year. She's got 1 hit in those 16 at-bats.
Well, anytime you were in a situation where you appeared in 16 games and only had 16 at-bats, that's difficult to put up numbers.
There's a called strike.
For Carly or any other player, when you do a lot of pinch hitting and those kind of things, it affects your numbers.
One count to Olson. Changeup misses low. Back to the top of the order should Olson reach here in the second inning. Swings and misses there, and the count even 2-2. She was 0 for 2. Ground out in a fielder's choice in game 1 of the doubleheader on Monday, and then was 1 for 3. Scored 2 runs. Singled and scored, walked and scored in game 2.
Well, you see, when she starts getting a few at-bats, it starts to change.
There's a swing and a line drive, base hit, like you just said.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll get you a little more comfortable. It's her second hit of the year on a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, and she's aboard for Emery Nielsen.
And quite honestly, sometimes when you're and I quote, backup player or a part-time player, you put a little too much pressure on yourself to perform every time that you come in, and you
think this is my only chance.
Yes, absolutely, and you try to you press a little bit, and so now that you're comfortable, you've started some games, you're starting to swing the bat a lot better. Great job there by Olson.
So 2 outs for Emery Nielsen. She takes strike one. Nielsen struck out in the bottom of the first. So she's 0 for 1, hitting .261 on the year. Swings through that one, it's 0-2. Her first time seeing Capri Toon on in relief of who came on in relief of the starter Jessica Stewart. Nothing in 2 to Nielsen. 2 outs here. Bottom of the second. That one low, and the count 1-2.
And Utah Valley has done a good job of seeing Capri Toon pretty well. 2 of the 3 hitters so far this inning have singled, and they were sharp singles as well. So they've done a nice job of seeing the ball well, just don't have a lot to prove for it right now.
One-two pitch. And Nielsen stays alive. Lena Riboledo on deck. She doubled. And she scored on Beja Query's double in the first. Another 1-2 pitch to Emery Nielsen. Drop her right back to Tunchi. Throws it high, and the ball, she's going to be safe as the first baseman left the bag. Couldn't hang on to the ball anyway. And a high throw there by Toon, and the Wolverines are still alive here in the second inning.
Well, and that right there was just a little bit of a rush by Toon. She just kind of rushed the throw instead of taking her time and stepping and throwing to first base. She rushed it a little bit, and then as a first baseman, you're going up high to get that ball, and you have that runner bearing down on you, and you kind of feel like you're putting yourself up in a no man's land where you can take a helmet right to the ribs. And so she was trying to make that catch and also go with the tag, and just couldn't hang on to it. It allows Olsen to move to third base.
So first and third. Nielsen, we could see her on the move here. Pitch misses, and Nielsen got a pretty wide jump of first base there, but did not go.
Well, she is 3 for 4 on the season, so does run well.
Reboledo 1-0 the count. Doubled and scored in the first.
Clint, I also don't think you want to run yourself out of an inning.
There's a high pop-up on the infield that's going to be put away by a Roscoe. And that ends the threat. Yes, I agree. Thought maybe they were going to try and steal a run, but maybe not. But Wolverines strand 2 after 2. They trail it 4-2 here on the WAC Digital Network.
We can stand together by standing far apart.
Stay 6 feet apart from other people.
Wear your mask when you go out.
Wash your hands often.
If you feel sick, stay home.
Be respectful of others.
The choices you make are critical.
By protecting yourself, it helps protect all of us.
Your actions can save lives.
What we do now will shape our future.
Stay safe.
Join the Wolverine Club, a simple message with a major impact.
Finds the back of the net for the Wolverines!
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University women's soccer star, graduate, and Rhodes Scholar finalist Hannah Bruce. Not only is Hannah the first UVU student athlete to be a Rhodes Scholar finalist, she is currently studying to earn a master's degree in neuroscience at the renowned University of Oxford in England. Support the next Wolverine Rhodes Scholar finalist by joining the Wolverine Club today.
Welcome back to the Wolverine softball complex here at Utah Valley University. Wolverines trailing 4-2 here as we start the top of the third inning. Leading off for Utah State will be number 9, Kennedy Hira.
Kretz back out. First pitch popped in front of home plate, and Beja Query says, "You're not going to get me with that one again."
Exactly.
She lets it roll foul. Kennedy Hira, the third baseman. Facing Kretz.
She struck out in her first at-bat, facing Kretz.
Devin with 4 strikeouts so far. There's a grounder, hard one hopper that Pregame does a nice job to.
She
takes a sigh of relief.
A big deep breath. Yeah. Almost lost my life, but
yeah.
I made
You got the out.
Yeah, and she looks like she didn't tickle when got her bare hand or her rib, one or the other.
She's always laughing too, I've noticed. She's laughing there.
Well, that means she's having fun out here, and that's the way it should be. Come out, compete, and have a good time. Kind of like us two.
Yeah.
We're up here competing.
Very smiley.
Having a good time.
3 of those 4 runs against Kretz in the second were earned, 1 unearned run.
Well, Kretz, just 3 hits allowed, but Utah State was able to use those 3 hits and an error to get 4 runs across.
There's a strike. It's 2-1 to Mackenzie McFarland. Yeah, and they had the double from Jimenez into the right field corner, but the other 2 hits both had eyes on the old yellow ball. There's a strike. It's 2-2. The old yellow ball with eyes, the one that hit off Beja before it went foul, and the one that was right between Olsen and Nielsen in the hole. There's a liner past first, and that's going to drop in for a hit. So McFarland, nice piece of hitting, just kind of sticks her bat out, and it lands in fair territory. So she's aboard. 4th hit for Utah State.
Well, she got behind in the count and just kind of shortened up and found something that she could put into play. And nice job getting it into the outfield over the defense.
And here's Jimenez, who also hit the ball into that part of the field, but hers was a line shot that went for a double.
Yeah, that was a rocket.
It was on the first pitch she saw, and she is out.
It
hit her as she swung.
So I think it's a strike.
He called her out.
I think he may have been just indicating it was a strike.
Okay, I was very confused.
Yeah, he did.
She was in the box. I know.
He did use the out signal, but I believe he was saying.
I think it hit her, and because she swung, it's a strike instead of being a dead ball hit batter.
Right. So.
No, yeah, it's really.
She's obviously a very aggressive hitter.
Yeah, she's. Right as I said, she swung at the first pitch.
She was
last time.
Again.
She swung at this pitch and it hit her. But it's a strike. She swings here, base hit right side. So again, she goes the opposite field. Again, she's got a hit. The Aggies have first and second with 1 out.
Well, she hits the ball hard. I mean, it almost looked like she was out on her front foot a little bit, but she had enough strength to rip that through the infield. So great job there.
So 2 on for Lexi Orozco, the shortstop. Orozco, who she singled through the left side in the second inning, a chopper that right in that 6 hole just past the backhand of Emery Nielsen. She also had an RBI on that hit. Takes ball 1.
Now this is the part of the order where everything started last inning when Utah State put up the 4 runs.
Here's a chopper towards Nielsen. She's going to go to third to get the lead runner. And that's out number 2.
Good solid play by Nielsen.
That's a soft play you see in softball, not in baseball. In baseball, they go to try to get the 6-4-3 double play, but these short bases, you get that lead runner.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to get the lead runner in softball because chances of pulling a double play off are pretty minimal most of the time.
2 outs now, first and second.
Unless the ball's hit extremely sharply. If a ball's hit really, really sharply at one of the defenders and usually right at them.
And if it's not the fastest runner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then you have a chance.
Looking like Orozco, I'm guessing runs well the shortstop. There's a foul back, and it's 1-1.
Yeah. Let's see. She doesn't have any stolen bases, but usually when you're a middle infielder, you're pretty athletic and you run pretty well.
Jimenez at second, Orozco at first, Maisie McFarland the hitter, and she takes ball 2. Maisie McFarland was hit by a pitch, and that loaded the bases with nobody out in the second inning. Here she bats in the third with 2 outs, 2 on, and her team with a 2-run lead. It's 3-1 as the pitch is in the dirt.
Well, again, McFarland, not somebody you want to throw a lot of balls to. Make her hit.
And she's aboard for the second time.
That's 2 walks now to Maisie McFarland, and she comes in hitting under 200 for the season. So
she was hit by a pitch the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Walks here.
Well, 2 free passes.
Yeah.
So you give her 2 free passes, and that's going to hurt you. Well, and on top of that, those are good at-bats, especially that one there. That was good at-bat by Maisie McFarland, not to chase anything out of the zone, and then really when your bottom of your order performs, your team is much better.
Kayla Fielder on the 1-0 pitch fouls it back, count even. Fielder reached on the chopper to third. It was an error by the third baseman Olson, but she did get an RBI. Pitch misses wide. I think Devin wanted that one too. Devin a little frustrated, it looks like right now. 2-1 count. That one in there for a strike.
Now a good comeback pitch right there from Devin Kretz. Really right now the number one thing that she has to do is stay in this mentally and not allow the outside things to get to her.
Yeah, keep this at a 4-2 game, and Fielder a nice job just making contact to stay alive.
Yeah, just concentrate on this hitter. Don't think about the bases. Don't think about anything right now except getting this hitter.
2-2. Again, Fielder fouls it back.
Well, we've seen Utah State hitters continue to spoil good pitches by Devin Kretz, and what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on her, so to continue to throw strikes, strike after strike.
Again, Fielder. Kayla Fielder, who came in hitting .256. The RBI she got in the second inning, her 5th of the season.
Well, most of the swings that she's putting on these balls are just protective swings just to continue to get another pitch. And so she's just doing a nice job of really extending this at bat, giving herself a chance to see more pitches. So obviously a philosophy that Utah State likes to use.
Fielder presumably can run. She's 2 for 2 on the year in stolen bases and hitting in that left-handed hitter batter's box. She put a lot of pressure. She can put a lot of pressure on the defense. The pitch is low. It's 3-2.
Well, there you go. 3 spoiled pitches in a row, and now it's 3-2.
Kretz walked in a hitter in the second inning, in danger of doing so here. Fielder hits it well towards right center, and that's going to split the outfielders. This will score 3 runs. Fielder rounding second on her way to third will slide in there, and it's 7-2 Utah State.
Wow. What a great job of hitting by Kayla Fielder right there. Your number 9 hitter comes up, spoils 3 straight pitches with 2 strikes. Then on a 3-2 pitch, hits it off the wall in right center field for a triple.
And that'll be it for Devin Kretz. Katie Zuniga will come in for her. But that stings the ERA, this one, for Kretz. She's been hit with 6 earned runs in 2 2/3, responsible for the runner at third base. She came in leading the WAC in ERA. And I think at the moment she'll be out of first place. Lots of softball left for her to come back. She started the day with a 2.84 ERA.
Well, I think if you talk to any player, pitcher, what have you, they know that their number one thing is not necessarily ERA. It's to try to keep your team in games and to try to give your team an opportunity to win. So for Devin, I think the most frustrating part there is that she had to leave this game early without really having her best stuff.
Certainly, but as the sports information director of this team, I'm very concerned about her ERA being where I'd like it to be, and want her to be the WAC pitcher of the year.
Yeah, and that's still wide open. So lots still to be played, and this being a non-league game, there's a lot of softball left to be played here again today, and so the Wolverines need to limit this damage and get back to the bats. Maybe give Devin an opportunity to come back in this game later if needed, but I would love to see Zuniga come in here and just slam the door.
Katie Zuniga pitched well in game 1 of the doubleheader on Monday, 2 runs in her appearance allowed. So she comes in here, runner at third, 2 outs. And the first pitch swinging is the leadoff hitter, Leah Molina. And the umpire is going to make her take off her bracelets off of her glove hand. Home plate umpire Scott Wallace. And with the assist from Peyton Prigge.
Maybe.
I didn't know you couldn't have something on the glove hand there. It's not. I know you can't wear white sleeves or wear something on your throwing hand, but she's on her glove hand.
I didn't know that either on the glove hand. You could barely see it underneath her glove. So
I think she hasn't taken that thing off in years, because the way she's struggling to get that thing off now. Yeah. That thing's probably been on her wrist since she was in 9th grade or something. Well, she's still got something else on there.
Yeah, it looks like
I don't get it. Huh. Did she have? Maybe it was because it wasn't black. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I didn't necessarily see what she took off. I thought that the black.
Maybe it was the one that's.
Did it have a reflection?
There's 2 that she took off. There's a bunt. Zuniga's got it. She'll turn throw to first, and just in time, covering first base is the second baseman Hardy to get out of it. So she takes off her 2 bracelets, makes the play, gets the assist, gets Utah Valley out of the inning. The Aggies pick up 3, though, and lead it 7-2.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Putting you in the know before you go. It takes the KSL weather specialists. Weather made special.
The old Tucanos commercial got me. I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, that'll get just about anybody, though.
Yeah. Beja Quarry will lead it off. Some work to do for Utah Valley on the offensive side. Utah State has scored 7 times here through 3 innings, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, and as Beja steps in, doubled. Pitch misses it away. It's 1-0.
Well, Utah Valley, it's important to start chipping away here. Had this 5-run lead, 7-2, Utah State leading. There's still a lot of time left in this ball game, so a little chipping away.
And She didn't go, says the first base umpire, Tyler Barfus. I'm sure that's what Stacy May Johnson said too. You can't get 5 back without getting 4 first, right?
Yeah, getting 1 back first.
Yeah, getting 1 back first. So no reason to try and get all 5 back right away. Where he lines this one foul. Seen some hard hit balls off the bats from Utah Valley.
Absolutely, and Utah Valley with 5 hits in this ball game, so it has certainly not been the offense that's been lacking. Right now, it's just been Utah State taking advantage of every opportunity they've had.
2-1 to Query. Doubled. Drove in Robledo, then she pops this one, and it is a good effort there by McFarland, but she can't come up with it. It was hard to tell if it was going to stay inside that netting or not, and it just did.
Well, it was a tough play for her, too, getting over there up against the netting. And
I would have been a remarkable play.
Trying to get as close as she could there, but unable to get to it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Beja scored the second run in that second inning on a double steal. There's a changeup. She chops it towards short, fielded by Orozco. Throw to first, just in time.
Well, have you noticed the umpire at all? How he kind of throws his arms like this and then goes like that?
Did it confuse you?
Yeah. It
looked like he was going to say safe.
Yeah, it really did.
It was a really close play.
It was a close play.
There's Ryan Milliken. And she takes strike 1. Milliken hit a hard liner off of the starting pitcher Jessica Stewart. And that was actually the last hitter that Stewart faced. Takes the changeup low. So Milliken on the year now hitting .381. That's a team high in batting, near the top of the Western Athletic Conference. Swings and hits this one towards second, fielded there by Castrita, and there are 2 away.
Well, Capri Toon really has come in here and done a nice job of keeping the Wolverines down after they put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and so she's just doing a nice job of trying to keep Wolverines one at a time off the pace pass.
2 down. Here's Kyla Hardy, and an off-speed pitch there from Toon, and it's 0-1. Milliken coming into the day hitting .375. That's 4th in the league. 1 for 2 so far. And this will be a good shutdown inning for Capri Toon. Another off-speed pitch, and that one just misses. It's 1-1. After your team gives you 4 runs, you come out, put up a 0. Team gives you 3 more runs, come out and retire the first 2 hitters. That's what a pitching coach, a head coach likes to see. Shutdown innings. We're just swinging a foul ball off of Hardy's foot, 1-2.
Well, especially as you said, after your team gives you those big innings, you come down and shut down the opposition and give your team, while they're still hot, an opportunity to keep, that train rolling offensively.
One-two pitch, popped up left side, and it'll get out of play up on top of the dugout.
Softball, there's just not a lot of room in the foul territory on most softball fields, so fortunate for that.
Jay Drowns, the photographer, not there that time. Again, a changeup, this time flowing towards left. And putting it away is Maisie McFarland for out number 3. So the Wolverines go in order in the third. After 3, They trail at 7-2 here on the WAC Digital Network.
I love this view.
I love it every time this commercial airs. I get to drink another Mountain Dew.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders. When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower. It's just science. That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Top of the fourth inning, Katie Zuniga back out. The second-year freshman left-hander. And she will face the 2-3-4 hitters, Stephanie Reed, Zaya Castrita, and Kennedy Hira here in the fourth inning. First pitch fouled out of play by Reed, who is 1 for 1. Singled in the first, walked and scored in the second. Walked with the bases loaded, so picked up an RBI. She did not score. She had the RBI. Here she swings and fouls it down the right side out of play. Two-strike count. And an off-speed pitch there popped up. Zuniga in time, gloves it with the
another one of those funky spinning
weird spin,
jam jobs, and nice job of getting the old basket catch out there.
That's probably not as easy as you'd think it would be to make a catch on a ball that's. We saw how much backspin those balls have already, about 3 times.
Well, and it's a backspin / side spin. This thing's spin crazy.
There's a liner back up the middle, a base hit for Castrita.
Wasting no time going with the first pitch and right back up the middle. Good, strong single.
Castrita now 1 for 2.
She's out of Chula Vista, California. I have relatives in that area.
There's the third baseman, Kennedy Hira. She doesn't wait around long. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back out of play.
They work in the Sweetwater School District.
That was the 7th hit. 7 hits now for Utah State. There's a pop-up right side. It's going to one hop. They're going to get the lead runner. It's Hardy to Nielsen, 4-6.
That's a good job by Hardy there, because if you come rushing in and try to make a play on the fly, maybe you don't get to that ball and it glances off your glove or it lands in front of you. Instead, she stayed back on it, let it land, and then just got the lead runner.
So 2 down. And here's Mackenzie McFarland. First pitch swing is McFarland. Backhanded by Olsen. She can't make the play, though. It's off her glove. And the inning will continue. Olsen frustrated with herself there. And second error on the day for Utah Valley, and both on Olsen.
And as we spoke about, she hasn't played a lot of third base in her career, but over there for the last 3 games, she's not able to make that backhand.
And it wasn't not a hard hit ball, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a tough play. I mean it's a tough error.
But it was a one hopper right at her, and I think by her reaction you can tell she expected to make that play.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, make the next one. That's what they always say.
1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's high. Gabriela Jimenez, who's had a day so far. Doubled the right and scored, singled and scored. She's 2 for 2. Here she chops this one foul. It's 1-2.
And definitely not somebody that the Wolverines want to see here in this situation with runners on. We want to keep runners out of scoring position when she's up, and this is the first time I think she's had them in scoring position today, but she has been doing most of the work putting them into scoring position.
1-2 pitch. Chopper towards third. Nielsen can't handle it now. She'll still throw to first. A nice job by Pregame to not let the ball get by her.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the inning has continued to, again, another mishandled ball by the Utah Valley defense. Well, the second straight error.
As a pitcher, that's obviously very frustrating, and as a defense, that's frustrating for, each individual player that mishandles one of those. But both those balls were hit very well. Credit Utah State for putting the ball in play, putting it, nice hard ground balls into the infield, make the defense make a play. And great stop over there, as you mentioned, by Pregame. If she doesn't get that ball, that might go into the dugout. That might ricochet off the dugout, go into right field. There's a million bad things that could have happened.
We saw
with that
against Boise State the other day, and it was off the bat of Emery Nielsen. Here's a fly ball first pitch. That's hit pretty well. Going back is the center fielder Carr, and it's gone. That's a grand slam, and it's 11-2. Wow.
Well, off the bat, that ball didn't look like it was hit that well, but you get a ball up into that stiff wind, and not saying that she didn't hit that ball great, but she got it way up high, and so any assistance that may or may not have needed, it got, and it's out of here for a grand slam.
And that really makes those errors hurt now. 2 errors extended the inning twice.
Well, they always say if you give teams more than 3 outs, they'll generally are going to hurt you, especially at this level of competition. If you make errors, give extra outs, it's going to hurt you, and especially if you give 2 back-to-back, it's really going to sting. And unfortunately for the Wolverines, that's exactly what happened there.
So a huge hole now for Utah Valley. Score now 11-2. And Maisie McFarland takes the first pitch for a strike. McFarland so far, without an official at-bat, 2 plate appearances, a hit by pitch, and a walk. So she's been aboard twice. She's scored twice. And she takes this one low. So we've seen a lot of aggressive hitters in this Utah State lineup, swinging at the first pitch, swinging in a 1-0 count or 0-1 count and putting the ball in play. Not so with McFarland. She works the count, and she takes this one 1-2. She's seen a lot of pitches so far today.
Yes, she has. And let us not forget Lexi Orozco. That was her 7th home run of the year. So she does have a lot of power, the shortstop for Utah State.
2-out hitting too, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 outs in the third inning, the 3-run bases loaded triple from Fielder, who's on deck, and then here in the 4th inning, the 2-out grand slam from Orozco. There's a soft liner foul on the third base side.
Well, we've been talking about it since the 2nd inning when Utah State scored 4 runs on just 3 hits, and we just said they absolutely took advantage of every opportunity that came their way. And again, they did that in the 3rd, and now they've done it again here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, too many chances, through a lot of different ways. The walk, hit batter early on in that 2nd inning, the error in that 2nd inning. There's a line shot. Nielsen, I think she might have caught that on the fly. No, the umpire says no, but she made the throw anyway. So the inning is over. 4 more runs for Utah State after 3.5. The Aggies lead it 11-2.
Get the breaking news, weather, and traffic you need to know before you go. Wake up to real stories from real people. The news specialists on KSL Today. Mornings made special.
I love this view.
I love that every time this commercial airs, I get to drink another Mountain Dew.
Well, we talked about it in the bottom of the third. The Wolverines needed to chip away, trailing 7-2. They really need to chip away, and they don't have a ton of time to do it. Bottom of the fourth inning, they now trail 11-2 after the grand slam by Alexi Orozco.
Now you got to take a little bit bigger bites, Clint. Instead of just chipping away, we got no nibbles, just time to get some bigger bites.
Laney Bettenker leads off. First pitch is a strike.
And really that all starts with each Wolverine taking it upon themselves to get on base any way humanly possible at this point.
Laney 0 for 1, grounded out to second.
Made a tremendous play on a ball that actually preserved runs for the Wolverines.
Ended that second inning.
Yeah.
A diving catch on a ball in the gap in right center. Eventually turned into a double play. But yeah, it kept at least run, if not two more off the board. 1-1 pitch, fouled back. Bettenker, Prigge, Carr due up here in the fourth. We talked about Devin Kretz, how she led the WAC and ERA coming into this game. She also leads the WAC in wins with 13. She's second in strikeouts, over 100 now. And she is also in a sport as Bettenker swings through strike three for at number one. Softball doesn't have a ton of saves, I don't think, very often. See a lot of complete games and things like that. She has a WAC high 3 saves.
Oh, wow. Well, the Wolverines, as Bettenker goes down, the Wolverines really need to get something here out of the bottom part of this lineup to get runners on base for the top half to try to drive in some runs here.
There's a swinging a high fly ball down the left field line. I think it's going to hook foul. It does.
Well, that ball straightened that out, and it may have gone out of this ballpark. Just out in front was Prigge.
Prigge 1 for 1. Single to lead off the second inning, but was thrown out trying to steal second base. Here's the 1 strike pitch in the dirt.
Prigge has really picked it up here a little bit over the last 2 weeks. He's been playing much better, offensively playing much better, and it's really showed with the Wolverines the way that they've recorded 4 wins over the last 5 games.
That one wide. It's 2-1. Yeah, 3-game win streak, 4 of their last 5. Trying to beat Utah State for the 3rd time. They've always say in sports it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. They'd say that with basketball quite a bit, right?
Oh, absolutely, they do. Yeah.
I guess you can say it with in any sport, really. And they can't even 2-2 on an off-speed pitch that's in there. It was the off-speed pitch that Prigge slapped into left field, or lined into left field in the second inning. It was a 3-2 count, too, wasn't it?
It was, yep.
Two count now to the first baseman, Peyton Prigge. She fouls it out of play.
Continue to give her a steady diet of off-speed pitches.
Peyton Prigge, she's a third-year sophomore, we'll say.
Okay.
With that COVID year last year.
Good eye by her there. An easy take in the dirt, but 3-2. Wolverines could really use base runners. So
need base runners for sure.
Big pitch here from Toon.
Payoff pitch. Low ball 4, so good at bat from Prigge, and she's aboard for the 2nd time.
Well, you see that an awful lot when hitters can foul off several pitches and they get deep into the count. It gives them an opportunity either A, to see more pitches so that they are able to get a hit, or B, force the pitcher to throw strikes repeatedly, and that's hard to do. Just throw a strike after strike after strike in an at-bat.
Yeah, we saw, Fielder work that at bat against Kretz in the second inning. That kind of that same way, she just kept fouling off pitches, worked it a 3-2. And Kretz had to come in. She knew it. Carr bunts it foul.
Yeah, and she ripped that ball into right center field off the wall for a triple. Did Fielder.
Carr and then Olsen. Carr lined out to left. She's 0 for 1. Here she check swing that rolls foul on the third base side. Two-strike count. Junior center fielder. From Riverton, Utah. Southern Utah transfer. It's low, 1-2.
Well, this is another situation where a Utah Valley hitter needs to continue to battle to get the job done behind 1 ball and 2 strikes.
1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Swings and lines this one. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there, just getting the bat to the ball, and the Wolverines have 2 runners on here in the 4th.
Yeah, she recognized that off-speed pitch and hung up just a little bit, and she put a nice swing on it and just dropped it out there into center field. Great job.
So 2 on, 1 out. Here's Carly Olsen. She singled to left in the second inning. She's 1 for 1. Sixth hit of the day for UVU was Carr's single as the pitch misses up and away, 1-0. Capri Toon so far hasn't allowed a run on 3 hits. Struck out 2, walked 1.
Yeah, she's done a very nice job since she's come in relief.
There's a strike. And the count 1-1. Top of the order, Emery Nielsen on deck. Carly Olsen, the third baseman. Like I said, 1 for 1 today. $11 runs, 8 hits, an error for Utah State. 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for UVU. And the pitch is down and in, 2-1. Utah State made those errors hurt. They've scored of their 11 runs. 5 of those have been unearned.
Well, and right here, Olsen doing a nice job just being patient.
2 balls and a strike. Hard liner foul. 2-2.
Right there, she got a pitch that she could handle and just a little bit out front and ripped it foul.
Scoring opportunity here for Utah Valley with first and second, 1 out, 2-2 count, and a 9-run deficit. And this is a 4th inning where you'd like to just get out of that run rule area and not have to worry about it going into the 5th. You still have to worry about the deficit, but not the run rule situation. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back to the middle, base hit. So another hit for Olsen. Rounding third, here comes Prigge. She will score. And going to third is Carr. Carly Olsen is 2 for 2.
Yeah, what a great job by Carly Olsen. She worked that count, got a pitch she could handle, and boy, did she hit that thing good right up the middle. Because it was on the ground, it allowed the runner to score from second easily, and then on the throw was able to advance the runner to third.
So back to the top of the lineup now, and here's Emery Nielsen. Olsen 2 for 2.
Well, 3 straight excellent at-bats from the Wolverines, and that's what they're going to continue to have to do here.
Nielsen's been aboard twice. Been aboard once on an error. She's 0 for 2. Struck out in the first. Shows a bunt and takes. I guess it was a ball. Olsen at first, Carr at third, 1 out. 11-3 now the score. And she takes that one well and away. It's 2-0.
Yeah, a good job there, pitch selection. Just laying off, making Toon throw a strike.
And here's a visit from the Utah State pitching coach.
That's going to be either Laura Heberling or Bailey Thomas. They don't have a pitching coach listed unless they do in their notes.
We do not.
If it's Laura Heberling out of UNC Pembroke.
I'm going to guess it's her.
Pembroke was it's a good little school out there in North Carolina. Used to be Pembroke State. I'm sure it's probably just UNC Pembroke now, but
so that run against Toon, the first run she's given up today. Two-0 count, 2 runners aboard. A lot of things here Nielsen can do. Third baseman in pretty far. She swings and fouls it straight back.
Still ahead in the count here is Nielsen, so still can be selective, still can look in one spot that you like to get a pitch.
Yeah, Hira's still expecting something, and she does kind of have that slap hitting swing. I really don't know how to describe that the best way, but she's a chopper towards third. The shortstop's got it. Orozco, long throw, not going to get her. So an infield single for Emery Nielsen. That drives in a run. It makes it 11-4. It's still 1 out.
Well, when you get a chopper like that, it's not moving that quickly. It's a strong throw over there from Orozco, but
yeah, and Orozco's kind of like, what else can I do there?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And good hustle too by Bree Olson, moving down the first base line to get to second base quickly enough, and there was no play at second as well. So good base running all the way around by the Wolverines. And because you have the third baseman up so close, there's no chance for the third baseman to cut that ball and make a quicker throw to third base. So excellent strategy by the Wolverines.
11-4. Here's Rebeledo. Hits the ball high and deep to left. This is going to put a dent into that deficit. A 3-run home run for Lena Rebeledo, and it's 11-7 just like that.
Wow, she just got right on top of that first pitch, and maybe a little frustration for Toon, and lost her concentration just a little bit through a pitch that was right in the wheelhouse for Robeledo.
And that was a no-doubter right off the bat, especially with that wind blowing.
Oh, yeah.
That even took it even further. But
you get it up into left field, and it's going to go, and Rebeledo just got right on top of that ball, saw the pitch she wanted, and just hammered it. I believe that's her 6th home run of the year.
RBIs 31, 32, and 33. I think she could feel Milliken breathing down her neck on the team RBI lead. So she's like, I need to create a little.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
Now,
create a little
had nothing to do
there.
with the fact that the Wolverines needed a 3-run home run.
That'll be a pitching change now for Utah State. So Toon's day is done, and her day is complete as the bases are empty. We talked about how well she pitched. 3 innings, hadn't allowed a run, but the Wolverines get 5 runs off of her just like that. So 5 runs on 6 hits against Capri Toon, who does still stand as in line to be the winning pitcher today after she came out in relief.
Well, I can tell you the Wolverines really just took a page out of the book of Utah State there in that inning. What they did is they had good at-bats. They got ahead in the count, or if they got behind, they fouled off pitches until they stayed alive, didn't strike out, got themselves on base. A little chopper in the infield, a couple of hard-hit ground balls through the infield, and then you get it back up to the top of your order in Robeledo and to your power hitters, and pops one out, and it's now 11-7. I almost said 7-11. But
it is, technically, you could say that.
Yes. So
the new pitcher for Utah State is Delaney Hull. making her 14th appearance, 44 in the third innings pitched, 31 strikeouts to 12 walks. She's given up 36 earned runs, 44 in the third innings, a .348 batting average against. So now the Wolverines seeing this third pitcher, really these are the three pitchers that Utah State throws on a regular basis. Stewart, Toon, and Hull. You have two other pitchers who have thrown. Chloe Nightingale has thrown 3 2/3, and Molina, who's the DP, she's also thrown a third of an inning. So Beja Query will hit. The right-hander Hull. Base is empty. It's 11-7 now. And the pitch in there for a strike.
Well, that's what Utah State wants here, is they just want Hull to come in and throw a lot of strikes and force Utah Valley to swing the bat. Let their defense work.
1 strike pitch in there, and it's 0-2. Delaney Hull is senior from Mission Viejo, California. Oh, 2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So 3-pitch strikeout to get Query, and a big strikeout there, big out there for Utah State and Delaney Hull to start her appearance.
Well, if you're Utah State, that's exactly what you want. You want your pitcher to come in and go ahead and shut the Wolverines down with a strikeout right away.
So here's Ryan Milliken, 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch is a strike, and so Hull's come in, throwing 4 pitches, all for strikes so far.
Yeah, she's just pumping the fastball into the strike zone.
She's kind of got a loud windup and delivery as that one misses.
Yeah, a lot of movement.
So it's just, I feel a lot of energy just from her, how she's come in.
I'm actually a little tired.
Gets the strikeout. Yeah, she's got a routine where she steps back behind, grabs some dirt, checks her wrist. Checks her wrist, meaning checks the wristband with the number of the pitch that it's going to be. 2-1 now to Milliken. Ryan singled in the first. Soft liner in the third. She's 1 for 2. Pitches inside. It's 3-1. Milliken hitting .378 on the year. And hitters count. Takes ball 4. So she's aboard for Kyla Hardy.
Good job of patience by Milliken there. Sometimes when you're a player that's, has 8 home runs, you drive in a lot of runs. You just saw one of your teammates hit a home run. You maybe try to press a little bit in that situation, but no, she was very patient and worked herself a walk. Especially after the way Hull came out firing strikes.
There's Kyla Hardy. And a pitch of the knees for a strike. 0-1. Kyla 0 for 2 today. She struck out in the first looking, flew out to left in the third. (11-7) the score. Wolverines have scored 5 times here in the 4th inning. Is the count now 0-2.
Well, Hull's come right after Query, and now Hardy was a little more careful with Milliken, but she's come right out and gotten way ahead. So
Hardy does have a team high 11 doubles.
Yeah, she does, and she has 3 home runs, so she's got a little bit of pop in there.
Pitches wide, the throw back to first. And a hard tag on Milliken as the helmet came off. I think she kind of glances back at the first base and come on.
Yeah. Well, that's the one where you'd say, hey, don't get too far off.
Yeah.
But
it's a good thing she has that, that mask.
Face mask. Yeah, that could have been a broken nose right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch blooper over Orozco's head. It's going to drop, a base hit.
That's a great job of two-strike hitting right there by Hardy. She got a pitch in, but she just got just enough barrel to it to flip it over the infield and in front of the outfield. Great job, two-strike hitting, Kyla Hardy.
Yeah, back to Lainey Bettenker, who does not want to make her second out of this inning here. I assure you of that. Yeah. She led off. She struck out to begin the inning. 0 for 2 so far today. Makes the pitch wide. 2 aboard. Very shallow in right.
Yeah, extremely shallow.
She can find that right field line just over the first baseman's head. She could run for a while. That would in there for a strike.
Well, anything into the gaps here, you're going to score 2 runs. As with 2 outs, the Wolverine base runners will be off.
Count 1-1. In there for strike 2.
Well, again, a Wolverine hitter behind in the count here to Hull, who's done a nice job of pumping strikes since she's come into the game.
There's the 1-2, fouled back to stay alive.
That, of course, excludes the walk to Milliken, but I think that was more of a decision with the head coach does not want to throw Milliken a bunch of strikes that she can hit a ball out and score a run like that way. They're very careful with her.
Pitch is low, 2-2. Yeah, you think that, but you also think a 4-run lead.
Yeah, you want to just go after each hitter, but I don't think that's one. Maybe it's more, I should say, more of a you're not going to worry about it.
You know they talked about Milliken in the pregame as a pitching staff.
It's on the scouting report.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it ground ball foul?
And so you're not necessarily too bummed out with a two-out walk with nobody on to Milliken. I should have worded that differently. But I'm a little rusty since you and I are just recently reunited.
Yeah, this is our 3rd game. Is it 3rd?
Yeah, it's the 3rd game. Since
It's
the
been
old
a few
days
years
when
since
we were an award-winning duo.
Yeah, there's no award. There's a liner past third. Oh, was that touched by the third baseman McFarland? It almost sounded like it was touched, but it's a foul ball.
Yeah, close play there. McFarland trying to make a play on it and almost just barely missed getting a glove on that.
Who gave us an award? Ourselves.
Yeah, we were award-winning.
Self-proclaimed award. 2-2 to Bettenker. Pitch, fly ball, center field. Center fielder shading back. That's Stephanie Reed. She puts it away. But the Wolverines score 5. A 3-run home run from Lena Rebeledo, the big blow, and have turned this 9-run deficit. It's a 4-run game. It's 11-7 Utah State after 4.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love, the latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast.
Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
And buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
Top of the 5th inning. Kayla Fielder leading it off. She pops this one back our way. Wolverines back in this one after falling behind 11-2. They've put a big dent in the deficit. It's now 11-7, 3 innings left. And that one misses low 1-1. Like I said, it was 11-2. You had 2 runners on, with 1 out, no runs across. Carly Olsen hitting, and I said, you got to get out of that run rule area.
Right.
We've done so for now. There's a strike. It's 1-2.
Well, and the Wolverines much in the same position now as Utah State, where you want to throw a lot of strikes, force them to swing the bat, don't give up any free passes, no free bases, and make clean plays, no errors.
Swinging a line drive back through the middle. Just a nice piece of hitting there by Fielder.
Yeah, Fielder's had an excellent game. She tripled in 3 runs in her last at bat, and then comes through with that right there. Just hit it where the defense isn't and single your way on board.
She's been aboard all 3 times now. On an error in the second, the triple in the third, and a single here to start the 5th. And this is a situation we also talked about shutdown innings earlier. You got to get a shutdown inning here. You've got it all the way back, a 9-run deficit down to 4.
Yeah,
You're still within striking distance. You cannot give up any more runs.
You put up a 5 spot. You've got to get your team back in the dugout.
Fly ball to right. Lainey Bettencourt barely has to move. Retires Leah Molina for out number 1. She took about a half step back and then took that half step back in.
Well, and when you read the ball off the bat, you generally, as an outfielder, want to make that first step be kind of back and not forward, because you've seen many times where an outfielder comes in and then it goes over their head. Maybe not at this level as much.
There's a chopper over the head of Olsen and into left field, a base hit.
Well, that's just a tough play when Olsen playing in at about, 40 feet, and hot shot just over her head, and she's not a very tall young lady. It just hopped right over her head. Blame that on the grounds crew.
Again, it's, like you said, hit them where they ain't.
Yeah,
and if she's in a normal third baseman position, she might be able to make that play, but no chance there. Here's Zaya Castrita. Changeup misses low. That one misses wide. 2 balls and no strikes. There's a swing and a fly ball towards right. Bettencourt, a nice jump on the ball. Will make the catch. Tagging and going to third is Fielder. So runners at first and third, but a nice play by Bettencourt. A nice jump on that liner.
Yeah, absolutely a nice jump on that. And those are the tough plays that I was talking about. Those liners, they're difficult to read sometimes off the bat, and she just got a great read on that, ran that down in right field, and then had the heads up to go back to first with it. But Kayla Fielder is a nice little player. She tagged up, very smart, ended up at third base now.
So 2 outs. There goes the runner. This throw is cut off by Hardy. They'll try and get Fielder back at third, but she didn't get far off the bag, so they execute the stolen base. Stephanie Reed.
Well, with Reed's speed, that's really what makes that work out well, because in that situation you may want to just throw the runner out if it's maybe a slower runner, but with Reed, you won't want to take that chance.
There's a swing and a chopper. Nielsen. Oh, and she had it in her glove, and it got through. 1 run will score. Here comes the second run. The throw to the plate. It's queried down to second. I do think they will have the runner there. They do. But 2 runs there for Utah State. And another error for Utah Valley. It's now after 4.5. Utah State 13 and Utah Valley 7.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com. Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. The latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Wolverines now find themselves trailing by 6 runs, 13-7. And again, unearned runs. Utah State scoring unearned runs off errors for Utah Valley, and 4 in the game now. It'll be Peyton Prigge to lead it off for Utah Valley in the bottom of the 5th inning.
So a little more pressure on the Wolverine offense as they give 2 back there in the top of the 5th, unfortunately.
Prigge today 1 for 1 with a walk. Singled in the 2nd, walked, and scored in the 4th. It was a good at-bat in that 4th inning with 1 out. The last inning, I guess I should say. 2-0 that count now. Worked a good long at-bat into a walk, and that really started things for UVU. String of 5 straight hitters to reach base that was capped by a 3-run home run from Lena Rebeledo. And it's wide 3-0.
Well, Hull now more than ever just really does not want to give up free base runners in the forms of walks or hit by pitches or any other method, errors, what have you.
3-0 pitch taking all the way at strike 1. Prigge, then Carr, then Olson. And this bottom of the UVU lineup has done a nice job today. 4 hits in 5 at-bats. The 3 hitters have reached base 5 times. Big cut there from Prigge. She swings through it, and the count is full.
A good job by Hull to bounce back here. Got behind 3-0, and then has bounced back with 2 strikes.
And Prigge there with a swing trying to leave the yard, I think. They shorten up here 3-2. She does, and she hits it into the gap in right center. Tough play. The center fielder read over a basket catch there. A nice play.
She made that look simple.
Yeah.
And it is not simple.
Out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
And she ran that down pretty well and then made a basket catch, which I'm sure made head coach Steve Johnson feel a little uneasy, but he'll take it. Good play by Reed.
1 down for Madison Carr. So Prigge gave that one a pretty good ride, but it's out number 1. Carr takes high, ball 1. Madison 1 for 2. Lined out in the 2nd. Singled to right and scored in the 4th. A little blooper into right center field, really. Here she lines this one foul past 3rd. Ball and a strike. Low 2-1. "13 runs, 10 hits, an error for Utah State. 7 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors for UVU.
And those 4 errors have really proven costly for the Wolverines.
There's a chopper towards 3rd. McFarland, or Hira has it, throws to McFarland. 2 away. Yeah, the 13 runs scored, 6 are earned, 7 are unearned. All 6 runs scoring since Katie Zuniga has come into the game are unearned.
That's unfortunate for the Wolverines, who, for the most part this season, have been pretty steady defensively.
And 9 of those 13 runs have come with 2 outs. Even just as tough, I guess, to kind of swallow. There's a foul ball off the bat of Carly Olson.
Well, in those cases with 2 outs, you kind of have to tip your cap to Utah State and saying they're coming up with the big plays. They're coming up with the big at-bats and coming up with the big hits. Whereas the errors, you have to look at yourself and say, it's your own mistakes that are killing you.
And giving them the chances
right,
to come up with those big hits, which they did in 3rd and 4th. Nothing in 2 now as Olson fouls that back. In the 5th, it was a 2-out error that allowed both runs to score. Two-strike count to Olson. She's had a nice day at the plate, 2 for 2. Takes this one way high.
Yeah, Olson has done a nice job at the plate as she's gotten more at-bats here over the last 3 games. She's really been swinging the bat quite well.
One-two pitch, swung on and fouled back to stay alive.
Good job of staying alive there. A little too close to take was that pitch, and she just did a nice job of fouling it straight back.
Another 1-2 pitch. Change up, chop towards 3rd. Here has got it. And she'll throw across to McFarland for out number 3. Wolverines go down in order. 5 complete. It's Utah State 13, Utah Valley 7 here on the WAC Digital Network.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please, don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. Free. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Top of the 6th inning. And a defensive change for Utah Valley. Sienna Sandoval in at 3rd for Carly Olson. So Sandoval, who's for the most part been the 3rd baseman for Utah Valley this year. It was the first pitch from Katie Zuniga as a strike. Carly Olson has started the last 3 games and done a nice job offensively. 2 for 3 today.
Well, 3rd base is not a position for the faint of heart. That's for sure. You get a lot of hot shots down there, and it's a tough position.
Ball and a strike to Mackenzie McFarland, the first baseman. She's 1 for 2. Walked, singled, reached on an error. Chops this one foul. She scored a run as did her pinch runner, Libby Hawker. So her spot in the lineup scored 2 runs. There's a ground ball right back to Zuniga. She'll turn, throw the first one away. And here is Gabriela Jimenez, the catcher, who's 2 for 3. She scored 3 runs.
And she really gets after it at the plate. There we go.
Yeah, she doesn't wait long.
No, she does not. If she sees something in the zone, she goes and attacks that thing. A little bit of a free swinger. I like it.
Lexi Orozco on deck. She had the grand slam in the 4th inning. There's a high fly ball left field. Rebolledo over towards the line. She'll put it away in, I think, in fair territory. That line is blocked out from us down here.
Yeah,
where we're seated.
It hung up there. It was right on the line. If it was fair or foul, I guess it doesn't really matter. But good job.
Only in the play-by-play.
Yes, and we've already missed it. So,
no, I mean in the box score play-by-play. My bad.
So James.
Orozco thought, I hit my grand slam on the last pitch I saw. I'm going to be aggressive here. And she started, then stopped, and couldn't hold up. Fouled the ball back. It's 0-1. She's driven in 5 today. 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, 5 RBIs, 4 on the grand slam out in front here, and pops it back and out of play.
She's another aggressive hitter is Orozco. And you see that Jimenez and Orozco both very few walks, but kind of high numbers in strikeouts, but I'll tell you what, they make up for it with the power that they have now, each with 9 and 7 home runs respectively.
0-2 pitch, chopped foul. The Aggies have not been kept off the scoreboard in any inning since the first. Scored in 4 straight, 4-3, 4-2. 2-strike pitch. Line fouled on the left side. Hit hard, but way out in front.
Yeah, the scoreboard for Utah State looks like a really bad hand in blackjack when you just keep getting those low numbers.
Well, if you could get those first 3 numbers, that's pretty good. Or the first 3 run scoring numbers. 4,
yeah,
3,
and then
4.
you get a 2.
Yeah, you don't want the 2.
Yeah, and then you got a 13. Of course, if it's the dealer, it'll hit an 8. So
1-2 pitch, change up high, I guess, 2-2.
Well, Orozco he's a tall player, 6 feet tall, so I think some of the Wolverines wanted that, but umpire disagreed.
Hold foul, still 2-2. Well, it's like I've heard. If the ref called it a foul, it's a foul. If the umpire called it a ball, it's a ball.
Absolutely. I think I've said that many times myself.
Two. Change up again, fouled off. So Orozco just other than the one liner down the left side, just getting a piece of these.
Yeah, but again, staying alive as Utah State hitters have done all afternoon.
2-2 pitch. Fly ball to the right. Bettencourt over. Positioned well. Makes the catch. Well, she makes it look easy out there in right field. The Wolverines finally do put up that 0 for Utah State. First time since the first inning. 5.5 complete. It's 13-7.
Join the Wolverine Club. A simple message with a major impact.
Ghana's first Winter Games skeleton.
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University track star, graduate, and current Olympian Akwasi Frimpong.
Yes, South Korea, here I come.
Akwasi was the first person to represent his nation of Ghana at the Winter Olympics in the skeleton. Support the next UVU Olympian by joining the Wolverine Club today.
Wolverines will have the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nielsen, Revelado, and Query. Emery Nielsen singled, RBI single, scored in the 4th.
Well, again,
1 for 3.
Wolverines are right back in the same position they've been in most of the afternoon, and that is need to start putting some runs up here with just 2 more innings to go. Opportunities for the Wolverines.
Nielsen takes the first pitch from Delaney Hull for a ball.
And important for the Wolverines to make a big dent in this lead again.
Yeah, they need another crooked number here. Trailing by 6 runs, 6 outs to go. Pitch at the knees for a strike. Hull so far today, inning and 2/3, a walk, a strikeout, a hit. That's it. Nothing on the board against her.
Yeah, she's done a great job since she entered the game.
And that one in there for a strike. It's 1-2. There's a ground ball towards third. Nicely done there by the third baseman, Hira, to cut that thing off. If that gets to Orozco, no way they get Nielsen at first.
No, that's a great play right there. Hira she's made, I think, the last 3 plays in a row over there at third base, and just shows a great glove and then a strong arm across the field.
Yeah, to get the speedy Nielsen.
It's got to be strong and accurate.
So 1 out here in the 5th, and here's Revelado, who is the 9th hitter that Hull will have faced here today. First pitch is a ball. Revelado 2 for 3. The 3-run home run, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. That's that one for a strike. It's 1-1. Beja is on deck.
Hull has done a nice job of not getting behind hitters, keeping hitters from getting into hitters' counts.
Swung on and fouled back. 1-2.
And again, she's ahead here.
Revelado's home run came on the first pitch she saw in that 4th inning. And it was the final pitch that Capri Toon threw in this baseball or softball game. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. Wolverines are off this weekend in WAC play. This is their bye weekend. So we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard the way the rest of the things go during this Friday and Saturday weekend schedule. Wolverines back here at Wolverine Field next Tuesday. There's a ground ball right side. To her right is the second baseman, Castrita, and she throws out Revelado for out number 2.
Good feet there by Castrita, moving to her left and just kept that ball in front, knowing that even though it wasn't hit hard, she had the time to make the play and just made the accurate throw. Well, it'll be good for the Wolverines to get a little bit of time off this weekend. Good scheduling and having these games early in the week.
There's a ground ball off the bat of Query. Castrita again. Throw to first, and the Wolverines down in order in the 6th. 6 complete from Orem. Utah State 3 outs away from taking this one. It's 13-7 here on the WAC Digital Network.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now. on all your favorite devices.
Top of the 7th inning. Wolverines trailing by 6 runs. Need to try and keep it here to even have a chance in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be the left fielder, Maisie McFarland, to lead it off. Katie Zuniga, 3 1/3 so far. As the ball misses, it's 2-0. 6 runs against her. The big blow, the grand slam, that came after 2 errors in the inning. And then the 2 additional runs came on an error at the end of the 5th inning. Pitch misses, it's 3-0. So all 6 runs against Zuniga are unearned. 4 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. But she's behind McFarland, 3-0 in this plate appearance. Pours that one in for a strike. Maisie McFarland, the number 8 hitter in the order. She is 0 for 1. Has reached base twice. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 3rd, grounded out to short in the 4th. Here's a ground ball to Nielsen at short, throw to first, 1 away.
Well, McFarland has done a nice job of working her way on base and scoring runs today, and it's been one of the issues for the Wolverines is those free passes. She's had 2 of those, and both times has scored runs. So you see how those come back and haunt you.
Now the number 9 hitter, Kayla Fielder, who's had a day for Utah State, takes strike 1. She's 2 for 3. She's been aboard 3 times, once on an error, but had an RBI on that error. Takes this one for a strike. It's 0-2. Then she had that 3-run triple in the 3rd that really stung. Took a 4-2 game to a 7-2 game. Also singled and scored in the 5th. Swings and misses, so 3-pitch strikeout there. Beja Query thought that was out 3, but just out 2.
It's never not worth trying to sell, you know?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So they do get Fielder for the first time today. She's not on base. Off-speed pitch to Leah Molina, the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and Fielder's been a catalyst, obviously, with 4 RBIs and then also having scored a run. Just difficult to keep off the bases.
She came in with 4 batted in this year, did Fielder, in 78 at-bats, and doubled her RBI output today.
Well, and these games where you're playing a team that's also from your home state, kind of a little bit of rivalry games there, you have to have somebody come up big, and that's kind of what fuels these things is somebody has a big day.
There's a ground ball towards the middle. Nice play by Nielsen to glove it and to throw out Molina for out number 3. So Utah State goes in order in the 7th. Last chance for Utah Valley. 6 to tie, 7 to go home. The Wolverines need a big number.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here4you to learn how to get the care you need.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. Free. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Last chance for Utah Valley, down 6 runs. Need base runners. Ryan Milliken will lead it off. Back out for Utah State is Delaney Hull, who trying to pick up a save. This would be for her. Over 3 innings of work if she can finish this out and keep the lead. It'd be the first save for any Utah State pitcher this year. Aggressive on the first pitch is Milliken. She fouls it out of play. The Aggies just 10-21. They've lost 8 in a row. So at one point they were 10-13. You figure at that point in their season, they're like, this can, we're in this near 500, but they've suffered through this losing streak and look like they might get back in the win column today.
Yeah, they've come busting out today, that's for sure.
And we talked, as this one misses, it's 1-1. We talked about how hard it is to beat a team 3 times. It doesn't matter when you play. Whether it's a 3-game weekend series or it's 3 games in 3 different locations. Wolverines trying to go for a season sweep of Utah State with this would make it 3 games to none. And the Aggies has Milliken way out in front. And you could see the smile on her face as she swung through that.
Yeah, she was like,
she just mimicked her own swing with the practice swing there.
Got me on the off speed.
On the changeup. See if they dare throw that again, though. 1-2, the count. And it's a riser high, 2-2. Kyla Hardy on deck.
Well, that's also what makes softball an incredibly fun game is that, one day you have somebody get hot and have a great day, and it's really hard to beat people, like you said, 3 times in a row because the coaching is so good, the players are so good. But it's difficult to do.
She got her on an off-speed pitch again.
Yep. Looked like it was on the outer half and a little bit down, but got her with the strikeout.
She did come right back with it after Milliken was way out in front, but she comes back 2 pitches later and gets her.
Yep.
1 out here in the 7th. Here's Kyla Hardy.
And Milliken, even with the power that she has, does not strike out that often. So good job by Hull. She has really been the stopper that they needed here for Utah State.
She pounds the zone for strike 1 to Hardy. So Devin Kretz would take the loss here. She dropped to 13-11. The winning pitch will be Capri Toon. Now this is if the Wolverines can come up with 6 runs here with 1 out in the 7th. Capri Toon would improve to 4-10, and then Hull gets that. The save where if you pitch 3 innings or more and finish the game, you can be credited with a save, regardless of what the score is. So pitch wide, it's 2-1. Wolverines not done yet.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We've
5 bloops and a blast, and the game is tied.
Yeah, 5 bloops and a blast. It's like you always say, hey, they're only down 7 straight 3-pointers.
Yeah, you're down 27 late in the game. You just got to hit 7 or 21. You just got to hit 7 straight threes. You're right back in it. Hardy fouls that back. Just move the line along. That's what you say, right? 2 and 2.
Absolutely.
Get it to the next one. Get it to the next one. Hardy trying to get on base for Bettenker. We'll be trying to get on base for Prigge.
I think we've all seen crazier things happen.
Down and away. Count now full to Kyla Hardy. Hardy today 1 for 3. Singled in the 4th. Both these teams have 10 hits. But the Aggies have the higher number where it really matters. Here's a chopper towards second. Estrada with it. And she'll throw to first, 2 away.
Well, they meaning Utah State, has absolutely gotten excellent infield play from their second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman. They've really been solid today and made just about every play that's come their way, and they've looked solid all afternoon.
So Wolverines down to their final out. It's Lainey Bettenker who swings and lines it right out of Roscoe first pitch. And that's the ball game. So the Wolverines go down in order. In the final, Utah State 13, Utah Valley 7. Again, like we talked about earlier, the Wolverines will be off this weekend. Be back on the field next Tuesday against BYU here. 5 o'clock start at Wolverine Field, and then on the weekend at New Mexico State back in WAC play. So the winning pitcher is Capri Toon. The losing pitcher, Devin Kretz. The save goes to Delaney Hull, her first. And the final score from Orem for Josh Kalunke. I'm Clint Berge. The final score, Utah State 13, Utah Valley 7.